So, John Harbaugh is officially a New York Giant, and yeah, that stings a little bit, but wipe those tears away right now. Because what looks like a disaster on the surface might actually be the single greatest thing to happen to this franchise, opening the door for the one offensive genius who can actually unlock Michael Penix Jr.'s full potential. It is time to stop chasing the ghost of a safe bet and go all in on the future of Atlanta Falcons football. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Listen, we are in the thick of the most important week in recent Falcons history, so if you want to stay ahead of every rumor, every interview, and every breaking update, do me a huge favor and click that like button and subscribe right now. Let's build this community together. Let's just rip the band-aid off immediately. John Harbaugh is the new head coach of the New York Giants. Am I disappointed? Sure. I'm human. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and pretend I wasn't banging the table for him for the last 10 days. The guy is a proven winner. He is the only head coach in NFL history to win a playoff game in 6 of his first 7 seasons. That is a resume that screams excellence. But if you were paying attention to the insiders, guys like Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, even the local beat writers, the writing was on the wall. He felt like a giant. It felt inevitable. So, he's gone. He's the 24th coach in their history, and that chapter is closed. But here is the honest truth, and I need you to really hear me on this. I am not upset. In fact, in my heart of hearts, I'm starting to think this is exactly what needed to happen for Atlanta. Because if we had hired Harbaugh, we would have gotten stability, sure. But now the Falcons don't have to settle for proven and safe. Now we have a clear, wide-open lane to go get the guy who can completely change the fabric of this offense. We aren't pivoting from Harbaugh to just anybody. We are pivoting one-to-one. From a CEO type to an offensive mastermind. And that man is Klint Kubiak. I am officially getting off the Kevin Stefanski train. I'm done with it. I think Stefanski is a good coach, don't get me wrong. He's fine. But fine doesn't win Super Bowls. He is not a great coach. Klint Kubiak has the potential to be great. Gret. Write it in pen. Pencil it in. There are reports surfacing right now from multiple sources suggesting the Falcons are locking in on him. Even the Vegas odds are shifting massively in that direction. While the Giants locked up Harbaugh, and the Titans are seemingly going with Matt Nagy, and the Dolphins are looking at Jeff Hafley, the Falcons are surging toward Kubiak. Now I know some of you might be skeptical. You might be asking, is Kubiak really the guy? Let me ask you a question that I want you to really think about. Do you want a coach who plays not to lose, or do you want a coach who designs an offense that destroys defenses? If you want to know why I'm so high on Kubiak, just go watch the tape of the Seattle Seahawks from this past season. It is undeniable. You have to look at the numbers because they tell a story that feelings can't. In 2024, under Ryan Grubb, Seattle was decent. They ranked 18th in scoring and 14th in yardage. Not terrible, but middle of the road. Enter Klint Kubiak. In one single offseason, he took that same unit and turned them into an elite juggernaut. In the 2025 regular season campaign, Kubiak had them ranked 3rd in points per game and 8th in total yards. That is a massive, tangible leap in production. But his best work wasn't just the yardage, it was with the quarterback. And this is where it matters for us. Kubiak maximized Sam Darnold. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. He made Sam Darnold look like a legitimate MVP candidate for the first half of the season. He identified what Darnold was good at, the big, explosive plays, and he leaned into it, while scheming around his weaknesses. We know Darnold is turnover-prone, he's a gunslinger. But even when Darnold started sliding back into those old habits in the second half, the system Kubiak built was so robust, so well designed, that Seattle still locked up the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. So, here is the controversial question of the day that I need you to answer in the comments below right now. Would you rather the Falcons hire a safe veteran like Kevin Stefanski who gives you a high floor but maybe a lower ceiling, or do you want to swing for the fences with Klint Kubiak, even if he's less proven as a head coach? I want to see your debates in the comment section. Think about the implications for our roster. If Kubiak could do that with Sam Darnold, imagine what he can do with Michael Penix Jr. If Kubiak looks at Penix and says, "I can mold that clay," then you sign him to a 4-year deal immediately. Kubiak runs a pro-style offense. He runs under center. He utilizes play action to force linebackers to step up, creating windows behind them. This is exactly, and I mean exactly, what Penix needs. Penix has an elite deep ball. It was his best trait coming out of college, but we never saw it this year because our scheme was broken. And speaking of that broken scheme, we have to address the other massive news dropping today. It seems we are finally getting a reprieve. Ian Rappaport is reporting that former Falcons offensive coordinator Zach Robinson is flying to Detroit to interview for the vacant Lions offensive coordinator job. He's also apparently chatting with the Buccaneers. Honestly? Good luck to them. I mean that. Oh my days, I do not know how this guy is even getting interviews for offensive coordinator positions in the National Football League. What Zach Robinson does might work in college. It might work when you have a dominant offensive line bullying teenagers. But it does not work in the NFL. If you want concrete evidence of why we need Kubiak and why we are lucky to be rid of Robinson, just look at the third down conversion rates from the 2025 season. The Seahawks under Kubiak were elite, sitting right at the top right of the chart. The Falcons? We were buried in the bottom right. But it gets even darker when you look at the expected points added, or EPA, on third down. This metric basically measures how efficient your offense is in critical moments. The Falcons were at -57.3. That is catastrophic. We were down there in the mud with the Titans and the Vikings. We were statistically one of the worst teams in the league at staying on the field. Meanwhile, Kubiak is getting top-tier production out of Sam Darnold. Robinson was just way too predictable. It was painful to watch. It would be 3rd and 2, and everyone in the stadium, the fans, the announcers, and definitely the opposing defense, knew exactly what was coming. They'd line up in the pistol, run straight into a stacked box, get stuffed, and punt. It looked like a Pop Warner offense. He never utilized the play-action deep game that Penix was famous for. He treated Penix like a game manager instead of the weapon he is. I am absolutely elated that he is out of the building. I don't think it is possible for the play calling to get worse than what we just witnessed. We have Drake London. We have Darnell Mooney. We have talent. But we had a coordinator who was trying to run a system that didn't fit his players. Kubiak is the opposite. He is creative. He bites defenses. He creates open space. And that is why the pivot from Harbaugh to Kubiak isn't a downgrade, it's a shift in philosophy. It's a shift from, let's try to manage the game, to, let's go win the game. So, don't let the Harbaugh news get you down. The Giants got their guy, but I truly believe the Falcons are about to get the right guy. The search has never been clearer. It is Klint, Kubiak or bust. We need that offensive firepower. We need to see Penix uncork that deep ball in a system designed to protect him. I'm curious to see what happens in the next 48 hours. I'm planting my flag here. Kubiak is the hire. Stefanski is a pass. Let me know if you agree. I'll be back later with more updates as this story develops. Until then, keep your head up, Falcons fans. The future is bright. Rise up.